Who are you guys? Go down the line. Introduce yourself. What instruments do you play?
My name's Corey Peak. I play bass in Closet Witch.
Molly Pieteski, I do vocals.
Royce Kurth, I play drums.
I'm Alex Chris, and I play guitar.
So how'd you guys all meet?
Shows in the Midwest.
Yeah. I used to run a venue like 10 years ago, and I met Royce at just putting on shows, and he played in a local metal band. We just played a lot of shows together, and then over time, just eventually we're like, hey, you want to do this? And then we got up to Muscatine and met at house shows and just went from there.
Yeah. Was it sort of through mutual friends then all the way across, or just like other bands? Just kind of meeting
like
together?
Pure chance.
Yeah,
Pure chance, nice.
yeah. We were both the 4 of us were in different bands. We were in a band together, they were in a band together. They came through to a random house show in Muscatine, which Muscatine doesn't really have house shows. So at the time it was just this rare, beautiful thing going on. And we just met that night because our bands were playing together and hit it off.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
cool.
yeah.
So now thinking about it, a lot of the people that like were the stepping stones later were at that show too. Like we met Laura, Marcus, a lot of friends we've had for a long time at one show.
Yeah, that kind of built our
beautiful,
band too and inspired it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what bands were you guys in before Closet Witch then?
Like all the bands, or
As many as you can remember, yeah. I guess the ones that stick out. The ones that are like super worth mentioning and that you're really proud of.
Muldoon's Clever
Yeah.
Girls is the one that Alex and I did before we met Molly and Corey, and then Molly and Corey came into that project as well before we became Closet Witch. So that's the one that was right before Closet
Yeah,
Witch.
kind of fused us all.
You guys had other real bands. I didn't have any other real bands.
that was like we were doing like a Death from Above 1979 kind of thing, where it was like drum and bass, and then the vocalist at the time, he had a kid, and he was just time to move on. And we knew Molly and Corey, and we had so many shows lined up, and we were like, hey, if you both like did vocals, it will split up, having to learn everything. We'll just go do shows. And we started doing shows, and then it just got to a point where it was like, want to do something else? And then we kind of made Closet Witch as a joke. I think that was like the initial goal, to just be the most annoying band that nobody wanted to watch. And then like that backfired.
Yeah, now people are like, they like want, sometimes need to see you guys, you know what I mean?
Quickly, Muldoon's phased out. It wasn't like we're just done. It was just like, stop getting booked, and then we just kind of didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Corey and I played in this band, The Peaks, together, and we needed somebody to go on like this very small tour with us, and Alex filled in for bass. And I think that was the point, just like being on the road just a few days with Alex. It was like, we could be in a band together and do some things.
Yeah, you feel that chemistry. It's like, it's time.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did the name Closet Witch come from?
We threw a bunch of names together and chose that. It was the most fitting for what we were doing.
A few week-long process of finally settling on a name.
Yeah.
We almost went with Milk. Yeah, Bathwater was one we almost went with, and Milk Lizard was the other one.
Was it? I thought it was. I thought
Sweet
it was
names.
Crocodile.
Oh, Crocodile Jaw was another one, wasn't it? Yeah, so we were just like
few.
tossing weird names. And
They're
then,
all
like,
winners, though. That's good
Closet Witch,
stuff.
though, like fit the mentality of like, I don't know, having
what we wanted to do.
yeah,
what
like
we were
those
doing.
that kind of reflected on like what we do, like how we feel about everything in the
it's just
same
the right
way.
outlet.
Like that your lifestyle, like sometimes you have to hide from other people. I guess in a very short answer for that.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a cool name. Like
Yeah.
you could have picked any of those and it would have been sweet. So, who are some of your inspirations, individually or as a band? Does anyone come to mind that sort of formed your sound as a band, or individually affected you?
I could say at first, like a local band, the big band that did a lot for me was Ice Hockey from Iowa. Well, no, from the QC, sorry.
Yeah.
And they did a lot for me personally. And then like what got me into grind, there was a band called Sender Receiver that became Ring Bearer. And those, when I saw them when I was a kid, it was like, that changed the name of the game for me. Because I was all about like tech metal and like only doing like all technical stuff. Saw Ring Bearer and was just like, all of it. Oh, am I allowed to say that? I'm so sorry.
We'll bleep it.
So sorry.
It's for
dude.
school, so yeah, if you can keep it like on a minimum.
My
I should have
bad, my
mentioned
bad.
it. You're good. It's totally fine.
But it changed everything for me, personally.
I think when I first saw the Chariot, that had a huge, especially live, that had a huge impact on the way I play. A lot less focus on like hitting all the individual notes and making everything perfect, and a lot more focus on like the vibe and feel of everything. and making more of like a production out of it, I guess, like making it more theatrical, stuff like that. Dillinger's Escape Plan, I guess, did that for me too. Like anything really crazy and chaotic and wild.
Yeah, I would agree with those bands as being influential that Royce just said. And then also, as a vocalist, I can remember one of the first Midwest shows I went to, I saw either Supersonic Piss or Slut River from Iowa City, and their vocalist was just horrifying and so intense, and I was like, I need that outlet in life. So when Closet Witch came along, I was like, yeah, these bands are awesome. Those vocalists are bringing it, and that was really inspirational for me and a good push.
As far as like getting me into, like, Alex writes all the stuff, so I don't have much input on, well, I have input, but just I don't really form the sound too much personally, but just like back in the day, like seeing like bands like Hue Corrupts and like Organs, like from the kind of Quad City more area, just bands that really put a lot into their performance and had a lot of energy, and just like seeing people really get into it, it's like kind of just made me want to do the same thing and just, you know, create something, just express it hard and just have it be what it is. And I just dig people that kind of do that and just put it out there and just whatever it is, just like boom,
Yeah. Do you guys have any like favorite venues or favorite cities that you've played in the past? Any that come to mind right away?
Quad Cities.
Yeah.
Ross Talks is really awesome.
Des Moines, Vaudeville Muse, I love that place. It's like home, a little far, but neat.
Record Mill was awesome. They don't do shows anymore, but it was, and they're from Ames, or they're in Ames, sorry.
I would say maybe Trumpet Blossom or Gabe's in Iowa City. Those jump out too.
The Hole in Keokuk.
Really,
I'm
like,
sorry, yeah, we're just like, here, let's name every venue.
Every Iowa venue.
well, our area is smaller, but it's expanded. There's a lot of options, but all of them, you go to them, and it's the best community support you can get. So that just makes it good every time you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can relate to that here too in Fargo.
Yeah. How does the Fargo scene compare to the Iowa scene then?
Love it here.
Dude, tonight, or last night was pretty wild.
Yeah.
It was amazing seeing how many people showed up that early.
Yeah.
Like, I could just, when you're playing a big fest like that and you're the first, like, 3 bands in the lineup, you kind of know to expect, like, okay, people are going to slowly file in. It happens. It was packed, like, right at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
man.
people line up like
Yeah.
before doors.
So it was beautiful, and it was awesome. I
Yeah.
wouldn't trade it. That's for damn sure.
It was really cool to hear people singing lyrics along to like every band as well. That was really cool.
Yeah, it's like
you don't really. I mean, there's a lot of support in our area, but you don't really like. I personally haven't seen that too much. People, like the whole row of people just like singing the lyrics.
Except for like Mountain Swallower and Condor and Jaybird,
true,
which are
yes.
pretty popular bands in our area.
Yeah.
Definitely. It seems like there's a good, strong hometown thing, and if you go to the Quad Cities, you can find something similar at the right show. So it was homey.
I think that's why that answer got so long-winded too. Is like there's so many shows where it's not just like grind and metal shows. You're like put on with like psychedelic bands, and like we're normally like the more extreme group, but everybody gets along. There's a mutual respect across the board.
Yeah.
And that's Iowa right now. It's just like not enough bands to be picky about shows, and if you can work together, you're part of the team. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, mixed bills are fun to begin with, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So when you're kind of limited to that in a sense, it's kind of nice.
And you're never like, I don't know, I'm never bored at a show in Iowa.
Exactly,
to be
yeah.
honest. Yeah.
You just draw different crowds too. It's like someone's there for an indie band or something and they see you guys and it's like,
But
it's so different, you know what I mean?
that's what I really liked about yesterday, where it was like we're playing with a lot of, not saying that a lot of the bands that played yesterday were in the same genre, but kind of in that area together.
Yeah, definitely.
We're a little bit over here. And so it was cool. We got to play for a crowd that like may or may not have ever seen that kind of music. And then like I feel like our band's a good like crossover to like, there's grind bands that are like, no, blast beats the whole song. We kind of like chill out some spots, and I think that kind of helps people like get that crossover.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
So do you have any memorable stories from past tours? I'm sure you have many, but what are just a couple of them? Or maybe each of you take one.
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh,
I'll say it because I can't think of any of them.
Don't say names.
All right, there's a bit of a
Are we talking about what happened
good humor.
this week?
a good humored mishap that involved soy sauce in a beer cup. I won't say too many details, but it was quite a hysterical, confrontational. Ended up okay, but it's just mischievous people having a couple too many drinks.
So the band went out for drinks with another band, and fans of the other band came to the show to have drinks much later after we had all been hanging out, and someone had thought that the people that had came, the fans, had left already because they went out for a cigarette and were out for quite a bit of time. So the person drank the beer that the person had that was out having a cigarette. And then another person at the table says, "Oh, well, you can finish it off, and there's soy sauce here, and it's the same color, so we'll just replace it in case they come back." So they
And the
don't know
person was
yet.
really messed up and bought into that real quick.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it was really hilarious.
We'd all thought he left, including the waitress, who joked about taking his coat because
Yes,
he was gone for
yes.
so long. And like, oh, did you leave this here?
That was a really good memory.
We thought at the very least he would smell the soy sauce in
Yeah.
the cup and be like, no, but just shot it back.
Let's just say there was only one member of the band involved, though.
So
saying
I
we.
did it. And it was
Yes.
a big misunderstanding.
We
where
didn't
it's
do
just-
it, you just didn't stop somebody
I was
from
just
doing
already
it.
drunk and I saw the beer. I was like, no, whatever. Drink it. And then like I leave somewhere. It's just like, if he comes back, he'll just be, oh, okay. And then Buddy was just like, nah, finish it. Well, prank it. And when he drinks it, he won't drink it. He'll know. And it was like slow motion as he's drinking. I'm like, I should stop this guy right now. I'm just like, I can't do this. It was terrible. It was easily the worst thing I've done in like the past like 5 years. Some random person I'll never. I still feel pretty awful about it, and I hate that it came up during this. But
I'm sorry.
Sorry for asking.
It's so memorable. It was so funny too because the band that we were with, having shots, we had taken these hilarious little shots that you have to wear a helmet to take. So we cheers before we took them all together, and the band decided to cheers to evil twice. So it was like, oh yeah, someone's doing something bad tonight to somebody else.
I'm normally not like that.
No, Alex is really nice.
Dude that got pranked was the only one that didn't toast to evil with us. So I don't know if that...
Trying to think of what other good things have happened on tour.
I just think of Uncle Dave.
I think of Uncle Dave. I think of the
wasn't-
break-in
wasn't a closet
situation.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
that was
closet
Sure.
witch.
I've had some interesting stories, but not necessarily on Closet Witch tours. Luckily, knock on wood, we've had some pretty.
That's
been
true.
super
We've had
much
really
of a
solid
closet witch.
success.
It's crazy.
Yeah. We got to go to like Garden of the Gods one time when we went to Colorado.
Nice.
Got
Play.
tricked
That was
into
pretty
climbing a
fun.
mountain once.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was awesome.
We
You wanted
made
to go on a
Alex
hike.
work.
And so we drive all the way to the top of this mountain in Colorado, and we're just like, hey, let's go on this hike, and when people finally clear out, we'll do what we want to do, and then we'll go back to the van, and we keep going down this hill. And we keep going, and there's people and by the time we know it, we're at the parking lot at the bottom of a mountain, and then we realize
Oh my gosh.
it was right there, dude. And then they're like, well, I guess we better climb back up. And it's like, oh, great, man, let's do this
Before
now.
I
the
thought it
show,
was
too.
awesome.
Of course you did.
It was very nice. You were so whiny. Mostly our tourists are just like whining, all of us whining to each other. So like, those are the memories, all the whines.
Have you guys toured outside the Midwest?
Not too much, no.
Okay.
No.
It's really hard to get, like, especially to the West Coast, and then East. It's just we all got full-time jobs, so it's
Yeah.
really hard to, and like all have our own houses and stuff, and just like not getting income for that. You know
Right.
how it is. So
Yep.
that's been a little bit of a challenge, but I think we're doing our first like longer tour this summer with the band we did our split with, Youth.
Okay,
And
yeah.
they're phenomenal, dude. So it's actually like overdue. We should have done it like a couple years ago. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. Do you have new music on the way? Anything to talk about in that sense, I guess?
Yeah.
We have a new album coming pretty soon. Just finishing up the last touches with getting together the last touches of art, and just got the mastering back. So
Awesome.
just gonna send that out fairly soon, and then however long it takes to press a record, then we'll have it. So.
It's our first full length. First full length I've ever done in my entire
Really?
life, actually.
That's going to be fun.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. So we talked about this before the cameras were on, I guess, but how was last night for you guys?
Awesome.
Crazy.
Very cool.
Stages or something that we have like.
Tried to
It's a
avoid.
little bit of a hurdle for what we do.
Right.
So normally when it's a situation like that, like we'll set up in front of the stage and then let them leave all their backline gear up there. But then like the amount of people and then like not wanting to cause any trouble for the show, we just did the stage, but it felt really good. Like, it was different, but like I had a great time playing, that's for sure. And the people were awesome. There wasn't like aggro dudes without trying to prove something that's beautiful when like it's just people getting along. Like, I didn't notice, personally didn't see anything like happening in the pit that was like, dude, stop it, you know, like, so it was fun. It was really good.
Yeah, that's been kind of a pride of the Fargo heavier scene, is that everyone is just there to have fun.
That's beautiful.
No one's out to just like throw elbows at people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's for anyone. If you're doing it for the first time, awesome. I don't know. I think that's something cool about the Fargo scene.
For sure,
and it's elsewhere too, but...
No, it doesn't, because the Quad City scene definitely, like, at least when you're at Rostock and stuff for the most part, it's like that too.
Adopted
Yeah.
that mentality.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a collective thing too. It just kind of happens over time. Really cool stuff.
And every band that played last night is just wow.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't name one. It's hard if you were like, pick your favorite performance of yesterday. It's like, dude, don't do that to me. Like, it was so good. Everybody was
Erase
so
that question.
We were all saying last night we loved the end of Crab Lake set too, when I believe it was Scott's significant other.
Yeah, Lorena.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jumped on the stage and just gave it. That was
awesome.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I saw a video of
I
that.
got chills.
Yeah.
And then what,
was
like,
nuts.
that ending, and it's just like, oh, great, now we gotta set up and do it.
Yeah, could you guys come up and just do that a few times?
Follow up to that, yeah. So how has your music changed over the past, like, you've had several releases in the past. How has your music changed up into this new full length?
It's so
It's
hard
longer.
now. The
Songs
songs
have gotten
are
longer.
long and hard.
We used to say, like, let's do it quick, let's do it dirty, fast as we can, out. And now we're kind of like adding a little bit more of a melodic sound. We're becoming older people.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with, like, we've played with so many different bands on the road and then, like, been inspired by them, and it kind of worked its way into our sound
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah,
For
sure.
That just, like,
And, like,
helps it grow a little better.
Playing a lot with ice hockey before they broke up definitely shifted our sound for a little bit. And, like, there's always been a nice balance of, like, grind, metalcore, screamo, black metal. And it's just like grabbing all four of those genres and just like throwing it in a pot. And that's like what we do, I guess. But jeez, what was the question exactly?
How has the sound
Yeah.
changed over?
Yeah, how have you guys like progressed through the years?
I'd say we got more ambient at places. Maybe because we're too tired at that point to do more fast stuff.
Yeah, and I think too with like Sea Cane. Sea Cane was a song where we really like put ourselves out there in that kind of range of those metal genres, and that song was it. Like that song was like our anthem as a band. So I feel like when we went to go make new stuff, a lot of that was like Corey said, inspired from other things, but Sea Cane was driving us probably a little bit. Just the way that song was going.
So once I definitely agree with that, 100%.
Are you the four original, like, through the entire, since Closet Witch started?
No.
That's awesome. And kind of rare.
I don't think
For
I would
that
stay in the
long.
band
I don't
if
think
any of you guys left.
I think that's a mutual feeling across
Yeah.
the board. If like somebody left in this group, it's like
Yeah, there's a certain dynamic that I don't think, that energy, I don't think we'd find with anybody else.
Yeah. Well, where can we find your music? Or like social medias, whatever. Do you guys have any like, specific handles? Just kind of shout yourselves out a little
Closet Witch Band on Twitter, Instagram. We're on Facebook. We got Bandcamp. All our stuff is downloadable for free on Bandcamp right now.
YouTube, like we just
YouTube,
have a
YouTube.
buttload of stuff because we've
We
been
have
lucky
tons
enough.
of music videos.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. People have sent us lots of live videos. People have made a lot of music videos for us. Bandmates have made music videos. So our YouTube channel is actually popping as hell if you like watching live videos of bands or music videos.
And if for some reason like Bandcamp gives you that like, you should pay because you've streamed this so many times and you can't download it, just go to YouTube because all the albums are uploaded on YouTube too. So just keep hitting replay on that if you want.
I think you can just put 0 in the pay box on Bandcamp too and then get the download code sent to you. So
I have a
it's
sailor's
free on
balance.
Bandcamp.
Sorry, man.
All right, well, that's all I have for you guys. So once again, thank you.
Yeah, thank
you.
you
Thank you,
very much.
appreciate it.
Thank you.